Hey guys, how's it going? Guardians, ghosts, and gamers alike. It's me, Artist Poet. I'm back, and I got yet another idea, another brainstorm for how to make PvP worth it again in this game. Um, sorry, I'm eating pizza while I'm doing this, 'cause I'm fucking starving. And it's Domino's, and it's delicious. Okay, so PvP, the toxic slush pool of bullshit that has been being in Destiny for I don't know how long. Forever, always. Oh, we're gonna add Battle Eye. Oh, we're gonna have people, evaluating player behavior before we let the AI take over. We're trying to match you with better opponents, says the game. After I participate in a lobby with a full sweep, yet I'll stay in the same lobby where two people on the other side are very clearly and obviously hacking because they can shoot through walls and walk on ceilings. PC likes to say that console doesn't have a cheating problem. Welcome to hell, assholes. Isn't crossplay fun? So, one of the things I've been suggesting about PvP is the dipping out of the leaderboards. Um, because when you play games like Control or Clash, you're not 6v6, you're 1v11. Because a lot of what's going to be happening is also going to be dependent upon your bounties that you're going to pick up. Because bounties are a driving economy in this game. They're here to give us experience points. Sometimes they provide materials. It's the thing you do as a pursuit. I mean, they're called quests under that tab. There are bounties and there are quests. Excuse me. These used to be called pursuits. Now they're called quests, but I don't give a fuck. They're a thing you do when you don't have anything else better to do, and you don't really feel like just running around blasting things like I like to. Um, so one of the things that I have, strongly suggested, apart from there being more team-based bounties for all the playlist activities, not just for Crucible. Um, I mean, there's no such thing as a team-based bounty for the gunsmith. That I can understand. You must get the final blow to get the credit for the gunsmith bounties. But things like this, defeat opponents. I have to do all 10 of those. I might get assists. I might get credit for an assist, but if I don't put a bullet in somebody, I don't get a credit for that kill. Same goes here. Same goes here. Actually, this one I could do. Yeah, this is easy. Um, this one, just got to show up. Don't even have to win. And then, of course, the random additional bounties. They do anything from wiping out a specific class to getting kills with a specific weapon or ability type. Bungie's been really hyping about the whole idea that they want us to be more gun driven in this gameplay and not so much reliant upon our abilities, which is why they continuously and seriously nerf the hunter almost every fucking season because hunters rely on their abilities because otherwise we get our asses shattered completely in any matchup or whatever whatsoever. So, like I said, apart from there being more team based bounties in the game, um, I'd like to also see the deletion or the removal of the leaderboard uh, so that it's all about the team game. It's all about the gameplay of the team. It's about defeat enemies with grenades. See, defeat multiple enemies at a time with your super. Defeat enemies with any sword. Defeat enemies with your super in a strike. During the special events, there as a fire team do X, earn Y. And those are great. Those are the best bounties whatsoever because it's as a fire team. Now, will that encourage the potatoes to kind of tag along and just be AFK? Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of true. It would. But just like the game can kick someone for being inactive in the middle of a strike, raid, or nightfall, or crucible match, or trials, or gambit, or, whatever, just as you can be, stricken from the map just for being inactive on a patrol zone where nobody's actually interacting with you at all. Um, I'm sure there's ways for the algorithm to figure out whether or not you're contributing to the event in any meaningful way whatsoever. Another solution that I've had with regards to bounties is to just let us customize our bounties. If I'm a long range fighter, working with scout rifles and pulse rifles, or if I am an ability driven fighter, working with things like my grenades or my melees, or working towards my supers, you know, I should be able to pick a bounty that fits my playstyle. Because the game, Bungie's development team, this Divine Studio, since the early pre-alpha days of this game, have all been Bungie's always been about making games they like to play, and that's fine. But if you want to reach a broader market, which is what their intent is here, then perhaps maybe they should actually focus on broadening that market by allowing players to play what they want, how they want, and not hamstring us for wanting to just play one character class, say. Or how about not hamstringing us for like making three of that character class, one for each of the one for each of the playlist activities. I mean, let's be fair here. How many playlist activities do you see up here? Well, there's technically four, and there's all these other ones that you see down here. This, of course, would be the seasonal 35th anniversary thing for now, but it'll be replaced by something else. Eventually, over here, will just be an expansion, what the fuck ever. Um, but there are three main playlist activities that are in constant rotation: the Crucible, the Vanguard, and Gambit. Why wouldn't I have a character build just for the Crucible, character build just for the Vanguard, and a character build just for the Gambit? And if you're so damn bent on the fact that, well, we don't want you playing three of the same character class because you could spam and gain access to skill levels and abilities faster than every other player who's playing all three different classes or just the one character like I do. Um, then how's this idea? Then make it all account wide. Anything I earn on my hunter can be applied to my titan or my warlock. The armor changes looks when it goes from place to place. But think about that. You can take all of this. Check this out here. Check this out. This is the armor thing. You've got three full tabs: warlock, hunter, titan, of all of these. All of these. Think about how much data they could save if there wasn't, this. It was just this right here, just the armor. And regardless of where I put this, wherever I put this armor, if I put this on my Titan, it's going to look like that. If I put this on my Hunter, if I put this on my Warlock, it's going to change the look based upon the character class. But the core of it is already there. It's just there right now. You don't need to have to earn, a set of armor for each character class. That is false content. That is false difficulty. That is false complexity. That is basically filler. That is the 20% water, that is the 20% saline solution, aka brine, that is injected into most meats that you buy from the grocery store. Classified as to keep freshness, but bullshit. You're basically buying water at three times the price of what a bottle of water would cost per ounce. Go do the math. I challenge you to. So, yeah, there's an idea. So make armor and weapons universal to all the characters. The only thing that maybe you can probably do and keep separate would be exotic armors. Okay, because the Knucklehead radar, while a Titan and a Warlock could benefit from being able to see their radar while crouching, um, you know, while aiming at an enhanced radar while crouching, while any class could benefit from any of these armors, it's very clear that they are designed with the hunter in mind. And I mean, why do people hate on the Frosties or the Geminis or the Stompies or any of the boots? And it's like most everybody hates on everything except for the Orpheus rig when it comes to hunter boots, because that's what hunters are all about. We're all about the move. We're all about getting on the move. We're all about getting in and out of combats as fast as possible. I mean, if you go to, the Warlock and you look at his armor sets, the majority of the key elements that I see with Warlock builds is in their gauntlets. They're hands on, duh. And if you go to the Titan, most times it's going to be their helmets. There might be some chest pieces here and there. Excuse me. There might be some chest pieces here and there. They have a select number of boots as well, but really, the beauty, the realization of a Titan's abilities is really in their helm. So you have helms for Titans, you have arms for Warlocks, and you have boots for hunters, and then you have the chest plates, the chest pieces. Excuse, I keep doing that. You have chest pieces for everybody. Everybody has their chest. I have not used any of my hunter chess pieces in a very long time. I think the last one I used was Lucky Raspberry, and then I remembered why I stopped. Um, so universal armor, universal non-exotic armor, and then exotic armors can be just for like a particular character class here and there, or they could make one that is general for all of them, which is still again it's the same data. Uh, and again, it would allow people who want to build multiple copies of a same class but tilted for each activity. So all I have to do is say, oh yeah, we want to do a raid. Let me load my character up who's set up just for the raid. Oh, we want to do some trials. Let me load my character who's just for the trials. Instead of going to the tower or fishing through my inventory and having to swap blah 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 all the way across, or do what Elder Scrolls is going to be doing a hot swappable thing. Where you can actually hot swap between your character classes just by walking up to a station, clicking X, and then going for it. So yeah, ways to clean up the PvP thing. I would say first and foremost, try not doing a leaderboard. Fuck off on the leaderboard. But then this is the brainstorm I had while I was listening to my son playing his Halo game. Oh, his quote. I paraphrase actually. We lost the game because one dude on my side got his ass killed at the last minute. One kill, 1 point. That's kind of how PvP works in most games. But I challenge you this. If we're going to do leaderboards and we're going to promote people to want to push their kill death ratios or their so-called efficiency or their ranking as high as possible, your kill worth is what your current KD is, because that's dynamic. That's not fixed throughout the strike. You don't get to see it throughout the match, but you can you can get an impression of where you are on your list by where your name is ranked on that list. I'm going to prove it to you. Well, I'll show you what I mean. Let's do some control real quick here. You can just see, like I said, I don't edit my videos. This is a live stream thing. This is prepared sort of in the idea that I had a thesis, and I'm getting in that right now. Well, I chew food in your ears. Mute if you want. I heard some people get off on this. But I'm really curious to see how many people would still play PvP or play the way they do if there was no efficiency rating. If there was no post-game carnage showing you how many kills you got or whatever. That the only way you can gauge how well you did in the game was by what bounties you completed or the feeling of whether or not you did good in the game. I mean, the coaches in North America, especially the USA, all about it's not whether you win or lose, it's how you play the game and whether you had fun. Well, how can I reinforce the idea that I had fun in a match if when I see that my efficiency is like 0.77 in my last elimination match? Yes, that's right. I am looking at destinytracker.com right now for Artist Poet. You can go look me up. All right, let's take a look at the list here. Where did it put me? It put me at the top because it presumes that I have better efficiency than anybody else right now. But you just watch. After about the second command post is taken, and we get about 5 points in the head, at about 5 points in either side, I'm going to show you what the roster looks like then. And here we go. Look at me. I'm already second to the last. There we go. See? So already I know that my efficiency is a lot less than everybody else's around me. Okay? Yet, if you kill me, I'm still worth that 1 point. The game knows what your efficiency is at any given point, at any given time or instance in the game. The game knows what your ability is and what your performance is because it's rating you live, in-game, actively, dynamically. So why the hell would I be worth 1 point to the enemy if I am obviously half as strong a player as Hef or Pope or Danny or KKDO, sorry. That makes no sense. So if you want to make PvP competitive, if you really want to drive the sportsmanship and push the narrative of the event, of the activity, as it were, possibly, alluded to, then you would go ahead and say that if a player is purposely picking on a weaker opponent, then you get XP for that. That's your point. If you picked on a point 0.5 efficiency opponent, you're going to get point 0.5 off of that guy's head. Yet if I pick on somebody who's got a 3.0 in the match, then I'm going to get 3 points for my team by murdering that person. For instance, it's like when someone gets a 5 kill streak, immediately everybody starts going for them. Why? Well, because there's a medal attached to it. No, it's rivalries. It's competitiveness. That's what it is. So if you let people know that you're going to get points based upon that player's current efficiency, can that be exploited? Well, fuck yeah, anything can be exploited. Duh. What it's going to do? Well, it might do a couple of things. It might cause players to play more conservatively. It might force players to be more team based, more alert and aware of the fact that, hey, this guy with the 10 kill streak, we need to protect him because that's 10 points for the enemy if he gets killed by them. And also, it'll motivate the opponents to team up against that 10 kill streaker. Excuse me, a piece of crust. Now, how hard would this be to code into the game? I don't know. I mean, if it's easy enough for the game to pick at any given time where your name sits on the roster based upon what your efficiency is, then I would say that it could probably count right now. Instead of me being one more point, I could be half a point. And just don't do it like, don't base it purely on the KDR because that's a lot of math to have to run the machine through. Every player is worth at least 1 point, but the people who are running around with a 3 or a 4 efficiency, they're worth 3 or 4 points. You could just do that. Oops, excuse me.